Guten Tag, my name is DMAD, and welcome to another installment of BEC Trek. In this episode, we're checking out the long-awaited SOBELA Ocean Aquarium at the Kansas City Zoo and Aquarium. Now, I know I'm a little bit late on this video. Hey, I see what you're doing, stop that! Okay, yes, I am a couple of months late, but we're here now, and in addition to the normal vlog style, I'm going to be telling you everything that you need to know when visiting the aquarium. Note, I'm going to try and not show everything, as I want this to be a guide, and I still want the aquarium to feel fresh when people visit. Alright, let's get into it. First off, while the aquarium is free with zoo admission, it's important to know that you do need a time ticket to get in. Luckily, there are QR codes at the zoo's entrance. Note, depending on what time you get to the zoo, it may be a few hours before your entry time. Luckily, there's a whole zoo to keep you occupied. Fortunately, if you are a Friends of the Zoo member, there is a way to get advanced access online, though you do need to do it at least a day in advance before your visit. I believe they will eventually do away with this process, but as of November 2023, that's how you get in. When you do enter, you'll notice that this is a one-way attraction, so I recommend taking your time. At a leisurely pace, it will take about an hour to get through, but it depends on your interest in each tank. Also, while I know it is already required, I wanted to mention that each habitat is wheelchair accessible. Now, our adventure begins with a splash. This is the crash tank, which is meant to simulate the waves hitting the rocks on a coastline. I've heard that very early on, this was supposed to be like a splash tank featured outside of the building, where the pressure would build a splash that goes like right above the glass and mists people down. But I can't confirm if this was true. Next up are the mangroves. If you go to their main forest habitat on the left, you'll notice some familiar faces. As I mentioned on my last visit to the Kansas City Zoo and Aquarium, the small primates got a big upgrade as they and the Toko toucans, last seen at Beaks and Feet Boulevard, were recently transferred to a section of the new aquarium. Below them are several fish and ray species of the coastal mangroves. As of the last time I went there, it doesn't have all of the species listed. Continuing on the right, you see their bonnethead shark and rescued sea turtle habitat. You may notice a black cylinder on the back end of the sea turtle. They post what it is for, but I'll let you figure it out when you visit. Moving on, I liked the high ceiling part of the aquarium, with all the bird-shaped silhouettes. It gives an open-air feel before you descend into the depths. There are 2 touch tanks at the aquarium, one in the warm water section and one coming up. Like any touch tank, make sure to rinse your hands and forearm using the sinks and paper towel dispenser built into the display. Now for their star attraction, the warm reef. This tank is over 300,000 gallons, according to concept stuff I had a couple of years ago. Here, you see a menagerie of reef fish, eels, and 3 species of shark: zebra, sandbar, and the massive sand tiger shark, which can get over 10 feet long. This tank has 3 different views: bubble, which is usually crowded, a panoramic view, my personal favorite, and the half tunnel, with theater-style row seating. The magnitude of this tank makes it feel like the sharks are disappearing into the void as they swim off. The sheer number of species are conveyed on screens, which I should note are not touchscreens. The one critique I do have is that the half tunnel part of the tank is a little too lit up for the dimmer ocean setting. On the other hand, it does lead us to our next section, the open ocean. Here, correct me if I'm wrong, but this part doesn't have any true fish. You see multiple marine invertebrates, from jellyfish to giant isopods. I recommend taking your time in this area, not only because of the crowds, but also the flow of the jellyfish is somewhat therapeutic. The dark atmosphere, only lit by blue lights, adds to the calm, deep water feel. Transitioning back to the shoreline, and things are looking a little rockier. This is their cold shallows area. It includes giant Pacific octopus, mantis shrimp, and dragons of California moray eels. The final large fish tank you see hosts different species of rockfish, artificial kelp, and more. And if you look in the background of the tank, you may see a predator-prey setup in action. The final big attraction are their sea otters, Owen and Maddie. They are the 3rd species of otter to be added to the zoo, and can be seen above and below water, with wheelchair access. Right outside is their dining deck, where you can see the valley, and from afar, their elephant habitat. There's one more touch tank that features anemones, sea stars, and chitons. Viewer discretion is advised though, as there is a reason it's called a cold water touch tank. After passing all gender bathrooms, a gift shop, and a friendly toucan, we're back at the crash tank. One more thing you may notice is that there are a bunch of dots on the glass. This helps keep birds from crashing into it. And that's the SOBELA Ocean Aquarium and everything you need to know before visiting. It's been a long time coming, with plans for the experience going back to 2018. If you haven't already, I've made a video chronicling the construction as featured on previous episodes of BEC, which I'll leave in a card above. I decided to mix up the footage a little and leave out some tanks, so I'll leave it to you, should you visit the attraction, to fill in the gaps. Regardless, the habitats are all impressive in species and scale. In terms of review for the aquarium, I may have some critiques to be featured in a future video, but I highly recommend it if you're visiting the Kansas City Zoo and Aquarium. The different atmospheres, from open coastlines to calming depths, takes you on an adventure throughout the ocean. And, considering winter is upon us, it can provide another indoor attraction to get you out of the rain or cold, unless you do the cold water touch tank, which will just get you cold again, but I guess you can try it. I also have other ideas that feature the aquarium, but first, we have another state to travel to, so stay tuned for those videos. But with that, I think we're done here. Have you guys ever experienced the SOBELA Ocean Aquarium yet? What are your thoughts? And what was your favorite habitat? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed the video and will consider liking and subscribing to the channel, as well as following us on our other social media platforms, LinkTree in the description below. And share this video out to anyone who loves aquariums, touch tanks, shark tanks, or just zoos and animals in general. I thank you all for watching, and remember, always be prepared, do good daily, and love nature. For your life is a canvas, and you have the brush. Auf Wiedersehen!